Hey everyone, Mitch coming in from the Pricier studio. Welcome to the show. So, well, spoiler season for Lord of the Rings is finally here. A long time coming, a long time since it's been announced. And then there was like the early spoilers, then like the first look, then like some previews, and then like some leaks. And now we're finally here. So there you go. So let's start off with one of the ones I was most excited to see, and that is going to be, well, of course, Aragorn the Uniter. A 5/5 human noble for red, green, white, blue. Whenever you cast a white spell, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. Whenever you cast a blue spell, scry 2. Whenever you cast a red spell, Aragorn's going to deal 3 damage to target opponent. And whenever you cast a green spell, target creature gets +4/+4 until end of turn. So, well, this is quite interesting because this commander says, hey, you know what? Well, first up, I'm an exciting 4-color commander, and I give you access to a ton of exciting things. I mean, outside of like partner commanders, right? This is the only other 4-color commander other than Kynaios and Tiro and Omnath. Is that correct? Let me know in the comments below if I'm wrong on that. Sorry, Nephilim. Technically, you're not, legendary, even though I wish you were, and you should be. Regardless, it's exciting that we've got a 4-color commander. Again, you get access to a ton of great cards. And of course, you get benefits when you're casting those cards. The more and more colors that a card has that you're casting, well, the bigger the benefit it's going to be. So, yeah, you can really take advantage of cards that cost, well, I would probably build this deck, focusing mostly on, 3+ colors, essentially, is how I would probably focus on, like the charm cycle and such like that. We have a lot of really impactful cards we've got access to in these colors. And, yeah, there are some that I will go through that I would consider as well that aren't, more than one color. Even there might be 0 colors. But still, they are good kind of exemplary pieces as well to just add on to this commander to just hypercharge those abilities. Because again, this commander can go a couple of different directions. You can definitely focus it in certain ways if you really want to. Again, the way that I would probably go is, yeah, just a lot of color tribal, essentially, is probably how I would go about it. Getting a ton of extra value out of every single spell you cast. Again, if you cast, say, Omnath, the 4-color Omnath, right? You are getting a 1/1 token, you're scrying 2, you're dealing 3 damage, you're getting +4/+4 to 1 creature. That is potentially, well, making one of your creatures deadlier in combat to take out an opponent's creature, or deal just straight up 4 damage to an opponent's face if you can get through with that creature, right? If it's evasive, 3 damage automatically to someone's face with it being red. Scrying 2, some nice card selection there, and of course there are ways to get even more value out of that. We'll talk about that here in a bit. And of course, helping make an army as well with those 1/1s. So, yeah, the more and more of these multicolored spells that you can cast, the better off you are going to be, and the more value you're going to get out of this commander. This is definitely a value-centric commander. Just the amount of potential it has to generate value. I see a lot of players out there being very excited about this one. This one, again, can go in different directions. I'm not going to just sit here and claim that this is going to be the most popular 4-color commander of all time, because the other ones are quite popular as well. 4-color in this combination. I can't remember the exact name of that is. I am so sorry. Ink Trader keeps coming to my mind, but I believe that's definitely not right. That's a different Nephilim. Regardless, yeah, this one, it does a lot for you. I think it's going to be quite popular. I think many players are going to be really excited about it. A lot of players out there love Aragorn too. And yeah, a 5/5 for 4 that does all these awesome things. Yeah, sign me up for that. And yeah, I think, again, you might be excited about it. And if you are, make sure you check out that card list link in the description below. Going to be talking about the budget buys, cards that are less than $1 you might want to consider for this commander, the ones that I'm going to be considering, and then the pricier picks as well. Cards outside of my budget, cards more than $1, but they might be within your budget. So again, make sure you check out that card list link, almost a deck list. I've not built a deck around this yet, but I am chomping at the bit to do so. So now let's jump into it, starting off with those budget buys. And kind of like I mentioned, the first one that really came to my mind is the charms, essentially, right? Those 3-color charms like Naya Charm. Naya Charm is a great card. Instant for red, green, and a white. And if I remember correctly, that basically, outside of what this does, and we'll get to that here in a second, you also, if you have Aragorn in play, that's 3 damage to your opponent's face, you get a 1/1 token and +4/+4 to a creature. Good luck to your opponents. And again, this is instant speed, so you can utilize that as like a combat trick in multiple ways too. Ouch. Oh, okay. Also, this does do things. Instant, choose 1, 3 damage target creature, return target creature card from a graveyard to its owner's hand, or tap all creatures target player controls. All right, we're back on the wagon. We're good. Here we go. So basically, you know what? We can either, really mess with combat by tapping on opponent's creatures. Maybe we know they're going to swing at us, so on their combat we can say nope. Or if we know we're going to swing at them, yeah, you got no blockers. On top of that, hey, bring back a card from your graveyard, just a great regrowth effect, or, you know, a lightning bolt to a creature. So, again, these charms are very flexible, very efficient, very fantastic, and Aragorn says, yeah, let's just staple on 3 more things on top of that, so that's going to be pretty great. Moving on, even some of your ramp can help you. Trace Abundance is, well, a card that doesn't really see all that much play because it's kind of weird, but also it's really good if it's in, you know, a Naya deck, essentially. It's an aura that costs both Boros and a green. So again, that is 3 colors. This does count that Boros as both red and white. So again, you're getting the exact same benefits as, you know, I listed in Naya Charm. Enchantment Land has Shroud. So it can be a target of any spells or abilities, including your own. That's fine. You don't need to target your land. Whenever enchanted land is tapped for mana, its controller adds 1 mana of any color to their mana pool. Just a great kind of additional fertile ground, essentially, but one that is protected, and one that, again, gives you a ton of extra value on top of just, you know, being able to help you ramp as well and slow the ground. Just 2 mana for all that value that Aragorn is giving you. Moving on. Broker's Ascendancy. And this is the interesting art version, but apparently it's the most inexpensive version of it. Thanks, Moxfield, for pulling that one up. Enchantment for green, white, blue. Beginning of your end step, put a +1 counter on each creature you control and a loyalty counter on each planeswalker you control. You could go, I'm sure you could go Planeswalker Trial. You could go Super Friends with this if you really want to. Regardless, even if you're just, you know, casting a bunch of non-creature spells, which you very well might be, and we'll talk about some of those things here in a bit, you are getting those 1/1 tokens that your commander is making. And this can just keep making your army bigger and bigger and bigger. Again, those 1/1s essentially are doubling up their power and toughness on that next end step, or that first end step, whatever it is. And then the next one, more and more so. And yeah, I mean, I guess your commander too could become pretty beefy as well. I mean, just with 2 counters on and then that +4/+4, that's a, you know, 2-shot KO essentially on your opponents. So there you go. Moving on. Again, I think personally, if I was building around this commander, I think there's more kind of opportunity to go more non-creature focused, because again, your commander can make creatures for you, and yeah, Naya Charm, all those kind of charms essentially are obviously non-creature. So let's really take advantage of that with another 3-color spell, Jeskai Ascendancy. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, creature control, ++1 until on turn, untap those creatures. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. So some great looting for you throughout the game, which again can be great in combination with that Scry. And on top of that, again, hey, let's pump our army and also untap them when we need to. So kind of like a pseudo-vigilance as well. And yeah, some really cool combat tricks can be done with this. On top of, again, Scry 2, Lightning Bolt to opponent's face, make a 1/1 when you cast this because of Aragorn. Moving on, Jinny Fae Jetmir second. This is, I'm not going to say an auto-include because, again, I just saw this commander like 10 minutes ago, okay? This seems to be a card that is screaming to be in this deck. Be like, yes, I am fantastic in this deck. A 3/3 Elf Druid for... Oh, here we go. Gruul, green, Selesnya. I always get nervous when I see the Guild Suns. I'm like, I'm gonna forget them. I'm gonna forget them. Regardless, if you create 1 or more tokens, you may instead create that many 2/2 cats, or with haste, or 3/1 dogs with vigilance. Either way, you are getting an advantage on top of, you know, okay, instead of making that 1/1 soldier, hey, let's get a bigger creature. Let's get a 2/2 cat with haste, or let's get a 3/1 dog with vigilance. Now, how did these animals get to be more powerful than soldiers? I do not know. That's just how Magic is, okay? But yeah, being able to just say, you know what? I would like some bigger creatures to start off with, and again, hasty so I can swing right away, or vigilant creatures as well. So yeah, get a lot of benefits out of this on top of it being a 3-color spell, okay? Moving on, Kaikar Wind's Fury. Let's make some even more creatures. Let's make more creatures. Yeah, I did say I would probably focus on non-creature, but there are creatures that help you with non-creature and make more things. You know what I mean. Anyway, Kaikar Wind's Fury, 3/3 Bird Wizard Flying. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 white spirit creature with flying, sacrifice spirit, add red. So basically, this is a great kind of like ritual effect in its own right, because if you're casting non-creature spells, you get spirits that you can sacrifice for mana, and just basically utilize them as rituals, which is just great. Or kind of like more like a treasure token, I guess, or a gold token kind of more. So regardless, you know what I mean, just for red. Anyways, yeah, 1/1 spirits, though, you can definitely utilize those as a fantastic army, again, with Aragorn. Just kind of add to your army more and more and more every single time you're casting those spells. Yeah, I think Kaikar can be a great include. Next up, Whirlwind of Thought. I love this one, and this can provide you an absurd amount of value throughout the game, again, especially if you focus heavy non-creature, which is how I do it. Enchantment for 1 blue, red, white. So again, Scry, Lightning Bolt to an opponent's face, and a 1/1 soldier. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, draw a card. The amount of card advantage this can give you is absurd. And again, keep in mind, if that non-creature spell has blue, we're going to be scrying first, and then we will get to do that. So that is a huge advantage for you. Next up, one that doesn't have any color, okay? Locks and Warhammer. This is one on a budget I would still consider because, well, it can give you a lot of other advantages throughout the game. Equip creature gets +3/+0 as trample and lifelink. First up, giving Aragorn trample can be great because, again, if you're casting green spells, you can make Aragorn hit really, really hard. Or again, if you've got other ways to get counters on Aragorn, etc., etc., etc. That being said, also, lifelink is the reason I would keep this in the deck, though, because, hey, Aragorn's the one dishing out the damage, not just in combat, but he got that lightning bolt type effect to an opponent's face whenever you cast a red spell. So with that, getting lifelink, since Aragorn's dealing the damage, you gain that life. So every single time you cast a red spell, you also gain 3 life. It's kind of like just stapling that on to Aragorn as well. So yeah, that is a really, really, really important thing to consider. And yeah, when I was doing this episode, actually it was a pricier pick, but I was like, oh, Whip of Erebos would be great. Oh wait, no, that's in black. The only color you don't have access to. So there you go. Next up, we've got Elgith Crossroads Augur, not crosswords, not crossword puzzles. 5/6 Sphinx with flying. If you have the right number of cards, draw that many cards instead. That is huge. Huge with this commander. So again, although it is a single color, you only get, the blue effect out of this, which is Scry 2. This makes your blue effect so much better, because now anytime you cast any spell that has blue in it, you get to draw 2, which is absurd. Absolutely absurd. Every single one of your blue spells in your deck now says, staple onto it, draw 2. Gross. Like divination just everywhere. Absolutely gross. So yeah. Those are the budget buys, and of course there's some fantastic ones in there. Let's move on to the pricier picks, though, with yeah, I kind of mentioned it earlier, and I couldn't remember the name. My apologies, Omnath fans out there. Omnath Locus of Creation. There's a lot of Omnaths, okay? The most recent was All I Know That, but okay, the one other one, the Landfall one, Locus of Creation, there we go. 4/4 Elemental, 4 exact colors that you have access to. Yes, you're getting, again, Lightning Bolt to the face, +4/+4, a creature token, and Scry 2. Huge for just playing that. On top of that, with ETBs, you draw a card. Great. Whenever a land is battlefield under control, you gain 4 life. First time, second time, you get mana. Third time, you deal 4 damage to each planeswalker they control. Yeah, this does a lot for you. Of course, you are in green as well. Obviously, you've got access to a ton of ramp. Even, obviously, an Evolving Wilds could help you out as well with these triggers. Regardless, at the end of the day, you're just getting a ton of value for just casting this. So there you go. And keep in mind, obviously, if you've got ways to, bounce creatures like this back to your hand and then recast them, that can be even more impactful. So maybe consider some bounce spells like, Alchemist Retrieval and such like that for your removal suite, okay? Moving on, Temur Ascendancy. Let's get some more card advantage up in here. Enchantment, creatures you control have haste. That's huge right away, because now let's just get even more aggressive. Let's just swing with our creatures, including our creature tokens we're making right away. Whenever creature with power 4 or greater is battlefield under control, you may draw a card. Unfortunately, obviously, your little, soldier creature tokens don't meet that requirement. That being said, yeah, you also have access to a lot of great anthems, so you can very easily get enough power out there, like with, Collective Blessing, is that one it? That gives +3/+3, and then you would meet that requirement and you'd be drawing an absurd amount of cards. Regardless, yeah, if you're playing other creatures in the deck, if you've got other ways to make other tokens, you can get a lot of card advantage out of this. And at the end of the day, again, you are getting 3 benefits from this, and your creatures have haste. That might just be enough to include it anyways. Next up, Jetmir, Nexus of Revels. Gross. This can win you the game on its own with your army. A 5/4 cat demon creature control at +1/+0 and have vigilance, so control 3 of other creatures. Basically exact same thing, but also with 6 creatures, +1/+0 again, but vigilance, trample, I already said vigilance, and then the last +1/+0 is going to give you double strike if you have 9 creatures. It's going to be very easy for you to get to 9 creatures again with your commander and maybe other things as well, making creature tokens, and then your creature tokens and all your creatures become incredibly deadly. Again, just one of those 1/1 soldiers. 1/1 soldier, a singular 1/1 soldier, is going to be a 4/1 with vigilance and double strike and trample, hitting for 8. 8! Gross. And of course, with pump effects that you have, if Aragorn pumping +4/+4, they can be evened other to any creature, including Aragorn or this one. Moving on, Narset Enlightened Master. Again, if you are going heavy non-creature, I would definitely consider this one. 3/2 first strike, hexproof. That can really come in handy with, your opponents being like, I don't know if I can block because they got mana up and one that's green mana, and if they cast something like Naya Charm, then that's going to be a +4/+4, my creature's gone. When it attacks, exile the top 4 cards of your library until the end of turn. You may cast non-creature cards, exile with it until this turn without paying its mana cost. Again, if you're going heavy non-creature, cast some things for free. Get even more value out of Aragorn for free, thanks to this. Next up, Titanic Ultimatum. Yeah, you can even consider some of the ultimatums that fit in these colors as well. Till end of turn, creature control, get +5/+5, gain first strike, lifelink, and trample. Gross. Again, if you're going wide, if you're making a massive army thanks to your commander or other effects as well, yeah, let's just say, you know what? Surprise! I mean, I guess not a surprise. It's a sorcery seed, but still. Surprise before combat! All my creatures are going to be incredibly deadly. Good luck dealing with them. Again, even your tiniest 1/1s now are 6/6s with first strike, lifelink, and trample. They are going to be in trouble. Speaking of trouble, again, like I mentioned earlier, hey, lifelink is a really good thing for Aragorn. So let's put Shadow Spear on it. Equipped creature gets +1/+1, has trample and lifelink. Again, trample is also a really good thing too to get, damage through. On top of that, you can make punch opponents control, lose text if indestructible. That's always a nice thing. Regardless, low to the ground. Again, it doesn't give you any kind of color benefit, but still, hey, get some lifelink, gain life, gain a ton of life throughout the game. Or conversely, let's make Aragorn very deadly with Grafted Exoskeleton. Gross. +2/+2 and has Infect. Oh, and if this gets unattached, sacrifice creature. Regardless, hey, you attach this to Aragorn. Now, all of a sudden, well, first up, it is a 2-shot KO in combat. Maybe even a 1-shot KO, again, with any kind of a counter on it or a pump effect from green. But yeah, there you go. Or, hey, with the lightning bolts that you are doing, with Aragorn casting red spells, just cast 4 and take an opponent out. Infect poison damage. Have fun. Speaking of fun, you can do it even quicker than that with City on Fire. And yeah, your opponents are going to be panicking when you play this. You can evoke it out. Again, you've got a lot of creature tokens with this kind of a deck. Basically deals, all your things deal triple damage essentially. So have fun with that. Your opponents are going to be in big trouble. Your commander hits for a ton. Again, if you pump your commander once with that, +4/+4, that's 9, triple to 27. That's a 1-shot KO on anyone. And of course, your lightning bolts that you're casting, essentially with your commander. Hey, every single time you cast a red spell, that's 9 damage to someone's face. Gross. And okay, speaking of gross, I have to bring this up because if I don't, people yell at me in the comments below whenever this happens. Doubling Season. Yes, that's good with this commander. But if an effect would create one of our tokens under your control, creates twice as many. Same thing goes for counters. Yeah, you're going to be making a lot of tokens. Doubling those up with something like this, or Parallel Lives, or My Procession, etc., etc., etc. Yes, is a good thing. So there you go. And of course, if you've got other, +1/+1 counter synergies, like, Broke Ascendancy and stuff like that, there you go. Otherwise, take advantage of it. Yeah, I think a lot of players out there are going to be really excited about this brand new commander. Again, it's been a while. I mean, I guess not that long since Omnath, but a little while since we've seen a 4-color commander itself, outside of, partner commanders and whatnot. A very exciting one that gives you an absurd amount of value throughout the game, again, just for playing cards that you already want to play. So I can see a lot of players out there, going in a lot of different directions with this, maybe focusing on certain of those, aspects of Aragorn and, what benefits you can get. Maybe focusing on, bouncing things back to your hand and recasting them for even more value. I can see Zakama being a part of that, maybe a combo piece to it as well. Things like that, or yeah, just throw in all the charms and have a multicolored frenzy deck. So there you go. But yeah, let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on this one. Make sure you check out that card list link in the description below. Consider picking up some of those cards sooner rather than later, because when a new exciting commander like this one is spoiled, well, sometimes cards go up in price sooner rather than later. Yeah, so make sure you check that out. Stay tuned to this channel for even more quick takes and spoilers coming up. And of course, as always, have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. We also have a ton of brand new t-shirt designs in stock, so make sure you check out those as well. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.